Welcome to Code Station.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Code Stations video. This is the episode 3 of the Ultimate Kotlin tutorial where we talk about variables and data types. But if you missed out on our first 2 episodes, I would highly recommend watching them first. But without any further ado, let's get right into the video. So, today we will learn about 2 things. The first is variables and the second is data types. So, what are variables? Variables is nothing but a simple box that holds data. Here we have named a box as name and a data called as data. Understand with the example where we are taking a score system where we are making a variable called a score and we are storing 10 as a data inside that score. So that is how variable storing works. But now that you have stored once in a variable, can you reassign that variable? Can you reassign, for example, the score? Instead of 10, can I put 12? Can I put 13? So yeah, we can do it, but in a different way in Kotlin. So in Kotlin, there are 2 types of variables, that is a var and a val. The var variable can be reassigned, but the val variable cannot be reassigned. It works like a constant, which once created and once assigned, it cannot be reassigned. To understand this better, let's get right to the coding part of it. Okay, so we are the code part of it. Here, this was our first ever project. So I would recommend making a new project for every single new topic that we learn. So let's close out of this project. Okay, so now the project is closed. What we have here is the main home menu of IntelliJ IDE. So here, if you go to new project, and then if you click on Kotlin, and then if you click on this name part of it, let's name it to variables and data types. So let's do data types as well. Here, if you untick the sample code, it would be better. And yeah, that's it. Let's create this project. Okay, so we have our new project ready named as variables and data types. So here you can click on this source, click on new and click on Kotlin class file. So here we can click on file and name the file as variables. Okay, so now that our main file is ready, what we can do is we can create a main function. How do we do that? We can do it the manual way by typing fun main and then put in the curly braces, but I would recommend a faster way of doing it. If you type in main and press the tab button, it will create a function main automatically. This is a boilerplate given by Kotlin, and this boilerplates are everywhere. So I would recommend just using the boilerplates to make your coding journey faster and more efficient. So once that we have created our main function, what we can do is let's create a variable of var. Let's create a variable of var, name it as score and give it a score as 10. Now that we have created a variable and assigned a value to it, let's try to print this variable using the println statement that we learned in the last episode. So once we do that, let's click on run button. As you can see, it is printing the output as 10, right? So once it is printing the output as 10, I would create a new variable called as val and name it as for example message is equals to hello. If I try to print it right now, print message, and if I try to run this, as you can see, it is printing the message hello, right? So if it is printing both of them, hello and 10, what is the difference, you may ask? So let's try to reassign this score as 5 for example, and let's run it once again. As you can see, this variable was reassigned to 5, right? And it was a var variable, and as I said, that var variable can be reassigned. Now let's try to reassign this val variable, which is called as message. So if I type in message is equals to, for example, coder, and see, as you can see, it is giving me an error already. It's showing a red squiggly line under that statement. And if I try to run this, yes, it is giving me an error of val cannot be reassigned. So a val variable cannot be reassigned and a var variable can be reassigned. So now that we have understood that, let's move on to the next part of it. Now that we have understood how these variables work, let's learn on how to store more types of data in those variables. So there are mainly 4 data types in Kotlin language, that is the integer, floating point, boolean and character. So what is an integer? Integer is basically a simple data, that is 1, 2, 3, any number which does not have a floating point inside of it. So the byte is the shortest integer value, shortest data type. Then we have short, which is a bit bigger than byte. We have int, which is a bit bigger than short, and we have long, which is the biggest out of all of them. Then we have floating point. For example, if I want to show a floating number or a decimal number like 3.14, 3.142, 5.07, something like that. So how will I store it? I cannot show that point numbers or decimal numbers inside an integer value. I have to store it inside a floating point value, which can be float or double. Double is a bit bigger than float. And we have boolean, where if I want to store yes or no questions, like for example, is it raining today? So it can be false or true, right? That is where we store boolean data types, which stores true or false. Then we have character. Character can be of multiple types. It can be a single letter, a sentence. So to store a single letter, we use a char type, and to store multiple sentences or multiple words, we use the string data type. So those are the 4 data types. Let's get to the coding and learn how we use it. Okay, so we are at this page of variables and data types, and here we have shown how the variables work. So what we can do is we can click on this and create a new Kotlin file where we can create this as data types. Okay, so again, let's use our boilerplate as main, and it is created. So here we can click on var number is equals to 5. Okay, so now I created this data type, right? But I want to find out what type of data type it is using, and this thing of automatically assigning the data type is called as type inference. This is a Kotlin feature where whichever variable I create without having a specified data type given to it, it automatically understands what type of data type it is taking. So if I create hello again, see, it is automatically creating and it's not giving me any kind of error. So what is this called as? This is called as type inference. And how to check what type of data type it is? So if you click on this number, then if you click Ctrl Shift P, as you can see, it is an integer data type or int data type. But if I want to click on this message, and if I press again Ctrl Shift P, it will give me string, as I am storing a string data type. Okay, this is the type inference part of it. And once that is done, what we can do is we can create a variable where we are defining our own data type. So how we do that? We create var, we create the variable name, we use the colon, and then if I want to show int, I'll click on int is equals to 10. So that is where I have stored a variable of integer data type. Now let's create a double one. So let's create var pi, okay, pi, and then we'll give double is equals to 3.14. As you can see, it created a double value. So now let's create a boolean type. Var is raining, boolean is equals to true. Okay, so that is a boolean type. So let's create a character type of variable where var alpha colon char is equals to h. So we have created a character type of variable. Now let's create a string type of variable where var message string is equals to hello. So we have created all the types of variables where we have gone through every single one of them. This is the integer, the floating points, the true or false, that is boolean, the string type, which is character and string. That is it for today's video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. See you the next time. Peace out.